A crazed, man-eating alpaca bit off the man's ear. Moments ago, animals from the zoo had escaped. Giraffes and elephants roamed the streets, leaving the firefighters momentarily frozen in shock. A faint cry for help. A man had his leg bitten off by something unknown. All he knew was that it had a sharp, high-pitched sound and could spit. His friend and the terrifying creature were still inside a store. Firefighters soon found another man lying on the ground, barely clinging to life. They were extremely curious about what kind of creature had injured him so badly.
Sir, can you tell us what did this to you?
Is that?
That is an alpaca.
Aren't alpacas supposed to be gentle animals? When enraged, alpacas can develop berserk syndrome. The captain carefully pulled the injured man out while his teammate distracted the alpaca with chips.
Hey, come on, come on. Why is he not attacking?
It's calling its friend. Clever girl. Go, 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 go!
So you ran from an alpaca.
2 alpacas and there was no running. Just get in the truck.
He woke up to find himself trapped in a coffin. No matter how hard he pounded, there was no response. Realizing he might have been buried alive, pain shot through his waist. He had been shot, but he was in a forest. Searching for him without clues was like finding a needle in a haystack. With only an hour of oxygen left, terror consumed him. He let out a desperate scream. Just then, the detector picked up a sound. He was close. The captain ordered the helicopter to withdraw, silenced the team, told the man to keep yelling. Soon, the detector locked onto his location. As the ground was dug up, he was pulled to safety. Turns out he had taken out 3 massive insurance policies on his wife and paid a friend $100,000 to handle her for a fraud scheme. But the friend fell for the wife, revealed everything to her, turned the plan against him.
But when I looked inside, it was empty. That's the last thing I remember.
Is it done? I hope he rots in hell.
Free oil gushed out from the collapsed road, tightly trapping the car. Moments ago, the woman had just taken her driving test. It scared me so much that I'll never dare to write in the passenger seat again. The operator urgently reminded her not to pull out the pen. The sheer volume of oil left the arriving firefighters stunned. They quickly sprayed foam to prevent a fire. A firefighter tried to pry open the door, but the captain stopped him. One spark and they'd all be done for. The examiner choked on her own blood and accidentally coughed out the pen, causing blood to gush from the wound in her chest. The driver pressed napkins to her chest, but she was losing consciousness. With time running out and oil flooding in, firefighters pushed the car to temporarily seal the hole. Then, smashing the window, they pulled both to safety.
I hope she's insured.
The boy's life support ventilator was about to shut down due to the power outage. His mother called for help.
Do you have any backup batteries?
This is the backup.
Traffic was in chaos. The fire truck would take over an hour to arrive.
We don't have an hour. I'm gonna have to start bagging him. Just send someone as soon as you can. My son's only 12.
The dispatcher checked the map and found a house nearby with solar panels. She called the owner, who didn't hesitate. She grabbed all the power strips she had and urged the neighbors to help.
Everybody out of the house. We've got an emergency.
Almost every neighbor brought out their power strips, linking house after house. Everyone hoped the 12-year-old boy would survive.
Is your son still breathing?
Yes, he is. But I don't know how much longer I can do this. Is help coming?
Should be there any minute. Just try not to freak out when it does.
Hi, I'm your neighbor. Can I come in?
But the last few meters were still missing. Finally, they used nearby decorative lights to bridge the gap.
Oh my God! It's on! It's on! Okay. It's working! Thank you so much! How did you?
Just called in a favor. Turns out you got some great neighbors.
I really do. I guess it's time to thank them. And you.
Just happy to help.
A completely naked girl drove straight into the fire station in the middle of the night. Her eyes were blank, showing no reaction at all.
She's out cold. Maybe she's sleepwalking?
Sleep driving. What should we do? Isn't it dangerous to wake a sleepwalker?
But how could a sleepwalker drive a car? The captain ordered a blanket to be brought and instructed them to check the car for any ID.
She's naked. You really think she thought to grab her purse on the way out the door?
The blanket was brought over. The captain carefully draped it over the girl.
You're okay.
Fortunately, the station medic rushed over and gently held the panicked girl, calming her down. To be safe, they ran a few medical checks, but everything seemed normal. From her own words, they learned that she had a history of sleepwalking. Though sleepwalking naked into a fire station was definitely a first. A total social death moment. Wait, if you know you sleepwalk, why are you sleeping naked?
What do we do about her car?
My car?
The one you almost ran us over with?
Weird. I don't have a car.
The patient's skull was opened when an explosion occurred. The operating room received an evacuation order. Earlier, a boy accidentally spilled cleaner. Though the janitor cleaned the floor, some of it flowed into the storage room. A nurse slipped while delivering an oxygen bottle, not noticing the leaking bottle or key stuck at the door. She found the door wouldn't close, so she gave it a strong push. Firefighters arrived, but the patient in surgery was difficult to move. The surgeon ordered to continue.
All non-essentials evacuate now. I'm staying with this patient.
After a few minutes, the operating room lost power. They continued by flashlight. The captain urged evacuation, but the doctor refused.
Waiting to propose.
I have to finish.
I'll give you 10 minutes.
I need 12.
I will do my best.
The firefighters worked to control the flames.
We're gonna give them 12 minutes!
Just before the fire reached them, the surgery was successfully completed, as promised to the family.
I know it sounds serious, Mrs. Morgan, but today's procedure is routine.
For you, you're a brain surgeon.
We're gonna take good care of them. That's a promise.
These newborns had just arrived when an explosion rocked the hospital, trapping the nursery in flames. Firefighters used a ladder truck to pass the babies down one by one. But a man panicked. His newborn daughter had been taken for a checkup. His 10-year-old son had followed. Amid the wreckage, the boy cradled his baby sister.
It's okay. Hello? Hello?
And found a working phone to call for help.
Yes, I see one. It's 318.
Firefighters arrived, but it was already completely engulfed in flames.
Firefighter Buckley, Firefighter Diaz, are you there? Did you make it to room 318?
There is no room 318.
The explosion had destroyed all the rooms. The operator couldn't hold back her emotions upon hearing this, but soon she received another call from the boy.
Where are they? They aren't here.
Realizing a mirror's reflection had caused a room number mix-up.
Is there a 81E in the hospital?
Yes, on the 5th floor.
He was reading a reflection. Let's go!
They're on 5.
They quickly located the siblings and carried them to safety.
There you go. It's okay, I got you. Let's go, come on!